In the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, law students can go right into court and defend their clients, take a case all the way, win or lose, helping people who need legal services. These students are doing it at the neighborhood law office. They're lawyers. They're young lawyers.
What's the matter?
Nothing, I'm just tired.
Wanna go?
Yeah? All right.
Let's go.
Wait a minute. Dom? Dom? Hey, Dom? Excuse me. Dom? Dom? Don't you remember me? I'm Aaron Silver.
I knew Fowler'd have somebody tailing me. It's you.
Fowler? I don't know who Fowler is.
The law doesn't bend, does it, Counselor? We bend. We bend enough, we break. All right, you saw me. You know I broke. Call him.
Call who? What are you talking about? Are you all right, Dom?
Oh, yeah. I'm sailing, Counselor. I'm stoned out of my mind. See?
Well, you...
Nothing. I'm clean.
You don't have to do that.
As clean as I was when they sent me back to Warrensville. But that doesn't make any difference, does it?
I don't know what's going on, Dom. I don't know who Fowler is. But you must be on parole or you wouldn't be here. And you're scared. So why don't we go someplace and talk?
Now, you just stay out of my way, Counselor. I've got too many things to thank you for already. Don LaCosta was alive when you took me into that courtroom, but he died on the way to Warrensville. You're too late for the funeral. You just stay out of my way.
Aaron?
I was one of my first clients. He was thanking me. I'm gonna take you home. Man fought me every inch of the way. I got him off of the use charge, and I could have cleared him of possession charge if he didn't hold out on me. I don't understand. Don was clean. I know he was clean. I don't know why he was carrying those drugs.
Mr. Silverman, the wall between this room and my office has been standing a long time. Do you think we can nurse it through one more day?
Pat, it's like he's not even grateful.
I'd be grateful if you go down to your office and work out a defense with Miss Hanrahan. Or have you given up the law in favor of interior decorating?
Oh, I forgot about Miss Hanrahan.
Did you find the precedents?
All we need is one. Cubello versus O'Neill.
I'll bring it in. And this time, will you start by asking Miss Hanrahan if she couldn't express herself some way other than scribbling graffiti on the swan boats?
Mr. Barrett, may I talk to you, please?
Yeah?
You remember one of my first clients, Don Acosta?
Musician. Possession and use?
Possession, yes. I never proved use.
You had a poor defense there. Fine summation, but a poor defense.
He's out on parole now. This might sound crazy, but when I saw him last night, he thought that I wanted to turn him in.
What for?
Well, I don't know.
You'll find out. Your responsibility to your client, and he's still your client, doesn't end with a trial or the sentence. If you thought you were going to turn him in, that could mean trouble. Check the parole conditions. Look him up. Have a talk with him.
When? I have Miss Hanrahan, and I have to be in court at 10 o'clock.
Tonight.
Tonight I'm having dinner with you.
Well, I think I can survive dinner alone. And see if you can find his parole officer.
But
Miss Hanrahan.
Hey, it'll only take a few minutes, really, just a few minutes.
A few minutes I don't have. Mr. Acosta's parole conditions are on file in my office. I suggest you call my secretary.
Mr. Fowler, I just have one question. Why wasn't I notified of Mr. Acosta's parole?
Because he didn't want you notified.
Oh,
It shouldn't be any secret to you that he wasn't exactly pleased with your defense.
I did all I could.
Now, we know that. But he doesn't. Now, I have to submit 3 parole revocation hearings today.
Mr. Fowler, would you just do me one favor? Would you tell me where I can find Don?
He's busy every afternoon.
No, not this afternoon, tonight.
Not tonight. He's working.
Where? Where does he work?
Mr. Silverman.
That's all right, Mr. Fowler. I'll just call your office. They'll tell me where I can find him.
The Harbor Inn. And remember one thing. I wasn't in favor of this parole. Mr. Acosta's going through a crucial readjustment. And it's my job to make sure he does adjust. And I'm going to do that job.
Just the food, not the whole place. You keep your mind off that junk music.
Oh. Hey, I'm sorry, Kovacs. They just don't make plates the way they used to.
I chop them up, you pay for it.
Excuse me, I was looking for Don.
Well, now it's visiting hours.
Kovacs, want a good lawyer? Doesn't cost you anything except 9 months.
Fowler he didn't tell me what you were doing here.
Fowler?
Yeah, I saw him this afternoon.
Tell him about last night?
No. I went to his offices. They were closed. I wanted to find out what the conditions of your parole were. Condition number 1. 5 ounces of this, but no more. Don't be wasteful, huh, Kovacs?
You're pretty smart for a junkie.
Kovacs is my guardian angel. See the halo? He's out of Warrensville, too. Right, Kovacs? Hey, tell him our motto. There are no ex-junkies.
You better remember that.
Listen, Dom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for you outside. When you get done work, why don't you come on outside? I want to talk to you.
What do you want, Counselor?
I thought maybe I might be able to help you.
Get lost.
And I've been over your trial transcript again and again, and I admit that I was new and I made a lot of mistakes that I wouldn't make now, but the biggest mistake I made was letting you clam up about why you were carrying the drug.
What do you want me to do, kiss your hand?
No, I don't want you to kiss my hand. I just want you to understand that you hung yourself. If you would have told me why you were carrying the drugs, I might have been able to help you.
Hey, you want to waste time? Come back later. He's got another hour and a half to go.
Why don't you shove it, Kovacs?
Don't you open your big junky mouth to me. All I've got to do is call Fowler.
Don't you tell him to shove it too, man.
You're fired, Acosta. You know what that means? You know what they can do to you? Okay. He won't listen. Wait till Fowler gets on his tail.
Why don't you hold off on Fowler? I think I can take care of Don.
Well, take care of what? I've had him here before. 1 month, 2 months, then they're right back riding that needle again.
Let me try.
You can't teach them nothing.
Let me try.
Let him try.
You might not need me, but you sure need somebody to take care of you.
Why don't you get off my back?
I just want to make sure that you don't go back to Warrenville. Can't you understand that?
Like Fowler, huh? Or Kovacs in there. Isn't he great? A junkie who made it. And he's supposed to teach me how to make it. Oh, God. Why don't they ship me back right now?
Dom, I talked to Kovacs. I convinced him not to talk to Fowler till I talked to him in the morning.
And then you're dumber than I thought. The old model didn't work. They called it back for retooling. Now, by the end of probation, there's going to be a new Dom Acosta. No kinks, no kicks, no nothing. If I don't make it to the end of probation, what do they care? Scratch it. Scratch Dom Acosta. Okay, counselor. You want to know if you can help me? Well, I'll show you why you can't. Why nobody can. You got some time? You want to take a little ride?
Where are you from?
No, not me. You. I'm not allowed to drive. I'm a convicted criminal. On parole, yeah, but I'm still a felon. I'm a dangerous man. Have you forgotten? I haven't forgotten. They don't let me forget. You're learning, counselor. You're learning. You just passed signpost 1 on the road back to Warrensville.
Where do you want me to go?
Just keep going straight.
Where are we going?
I'm a musician, right? Best horn in Boston, huh?
Right?
You were at the hole last night. Good music?
Out of sight.
Out of sight. Right, all right, now out of sight. Anyway, you know it when you hear it, right? Come on, counselor. How am I supposed to teach you anything if you're not going to answer my questions?
Right.
Well, with you, it's a little bit different. I mean, what's music, huh? Got a couple hours, some bread, foxy lady. So you want to hear something first. So it's done. It's done. Your place of mine, babe. With me, this is all I've ever had. Music. What comes into me, what comes out of my horn. So let's do it right. How about the whole? Right?
Dom, what do you...
Right?
Right.
Wrong. For you, maybe. But not for me. Not for Dom Acosta, the best horn in Boston. Parole condition number 2. For the duration of his parole, Dom Acosta is forbidden to associate with any musician or any member of the music profession.
I can't believe that. That's the way you make your living.
Forget it. Kovacs keeps reminding you I'm a junkie. They're not going to put me back in that drug-oriented world. The words of the parole board. Temptation, counselor. Temptation. Yeah, slow down here. Come on, slow down, man. You're going to miss it. Right there.
That's trade school.
Mm-hmm. Right. Where else would you put the best horn in Boston? 8:30 to 4 p.m. every day, man. Play a mean tune on that lathe, counselor. Parole condition number 3.
The parolee shall enroll in a school of the Warrensville Rehabilitation Center's choosing to learn a gainful occupation that will enable him to make his living away from the temptations of the drug world.
That's ridiculous.
Will you believe it? Look out! Stop! You hit it. You went right through it. Now just wait there so you can back it up. All right, come on. Back it up. Quick. Hurry up. All right, you're clear.
Well, there's nothing here.
Oh, yes, there is. It's right here. Look here. Can't you feel it? It's a glass prison. Parole condition number 9. The parolee is forbidden to go beyond a herein prescribed area for the duration of his parole. An area bounded by... Oh, no. Don't touch the glass wall, man. You might break it. And if you do, if so much as even crack it, I'm going to step right through. Right there on the other side of that glass wall waiting for me is Fowler. Signpost number 3.
That's all I'm going to take you home.
Home?
Yeah, I'm going to take you home.
Great. Home. Stella, you mean? That nice kid with the eyes. Remember those eyes, Mr. Silverman? Oh, how they looked at you? How they trusted you when she begged you to get me off? How she... Can you find the apartment?
I think I can find it.
Then find it. She's past that wall. Past me. Past my life. Parole condition number 1. The parolee is forbidden to associate with any known or suspected addict. Any known or suspected addict, especially his wife, Stella Mariona Acosta.
Especially his wife. You tell me what chance I have.
Fix it yourself.
Anything, you better answer it.
It'll ring again.
Leave it alone.
You want to talk?
Talk.
I don't understand you. You don't trust me. In fact, you blame me for what happened to you, yet you invite me up here. What do you want from me?
It's coffee and milk. No booze. Parole condition number 5.
Oh, yeah, I know. Make myself some coffee. Mr. Barrett?
And if one of your clients needs bail?
No. He broke parole. I saw him.
Who?
Thelma Costa.
Well, what are you going to do? It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
He took me with him tonight. I saw what it must be like to live under those parole conditions. It's ridiculous. I can't do that to him.
Well, they obviously have.
I thought that if I spent the night going over his transcript of the trial and some precedents, that I might be able to find some information that you and I might be able to help him.
And the best thing you can do for Mr. Acosta now is get some sleep. In broad daylight, the parole laws look hopeless. 1 o'clock in the morning, they look impossible. 2 o'clock, they look even worse. Take my advice, we'll talk in the morning.
Good night, Mr. Barrett.
Good night, Aaron.
Give it to me.
Why?
Get out of here, Stella.
9 months and get out of here, Stell?
What are you trying to do to us?
Dom, I'm your wife. I have a right to be here.
Hey, right. We don't have any rights, babe.
Oh, Dom, what does Fowler do? Have a bed check?
Oh, hey. 14 more months. Is 14 months that long?
Is it? Is it?
Let go of that, Stella. That's over, babe.
Dom, stop it. What did they do to you? Wait a minute. What did I do to you? I mean, why didn't I...
Stell?
Yeah, you're right. But I think I better go. Better get out of here.
Stell?
Don't.
Look at me.
No, don't.
Look at me, Stella. Stella!
Don, I tried. Angel, I tried to stay clean.
How long ago did you fix me?
I don't know. I don't know.
How long, Stella?
Don't.
Tell me!
Don't let go. Okay, I'll tell you. But Don, if they find me here, you're gonna... Don.
How long ago did you fix me? Huh?
Don!
Tell me, how long ago you fixed?
Last night! And it's your fault, because you made me do it. Just once, baby. Just try it. Just once and see what it's like in that big, fat, shiny balloon. A time that you are...
Oh, Stella.
Help me.
Stella. Yes.
Help me.
Yes, I'll help you. We'll go to the clinic. I'll take you to the clinic.
No. No, because if you take me there, then they're going to turn me in. Please don't.
All right. No clinic. I promise. No clinic. We're facing Gloucester, baby. They'll take care of you there without turning you in. We gotta get a car.
No, can't do that. Because if you leave town, then they're going to come and get you. You can't break parole. No, Don, they'll take you back.
I can't do this alone, baby. We know that. We've tried it. We need each other for this.
Oh, Don, my pocket, my jacket. Don, I'm sick. Don, just once. Just once, please. Don, please, just once. I'll do anything. I'll go to the clinic. I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Don. Oh. Hurry. Oh.
You're right, Stella. I did this to you.
Hurry.
Oh, God help me, Stella. I love you.
It's going to be good. It'll be all right.
I've been up with these ridiculous parole laws all night long. A man like Dom on parole has nothing. He has no rights. He has no rights.
God, he hasn't served a sentence. The only right he has is to finish his sentence outside Warrensville.
And he might as well be back in Warren.
Excuse me, Mr. Acosta's downstairs.
What should I tell him?
He doesn't want to see you. He wants to see Mr. Barrett.
Tell him we'll both be right down.
Yes, sir.
I have the right to choose my own lawyer. I want you, not him.
Mr. Acosta, you came here for help to try to get your parole restrictions dropped or changed. Well, neither of one of us can represent you on that. No lawyer can.
I know the parole laws. But there's got to be an exception made.
It's out of our hands. Technically, you're still a prisoner. There's no legal issue involved.
But he was the one who got me sent up.
Am I? How'd you do it yourself?
Here.
I was clean.
Don, that's not so. When they picked you up, you were carrying drugs. Now, that's possession, remember? Now, if you would have told me why you were carrying those drugs, I might not have been able to get you off, but I would have been able to work on the mercy of the court. It wasn't until you told me what your parole conditions were last night that I realized the truth. The reason you can't see your wife is because she's a suspected addict. And she was an addict then, right? And they weren't your drugs, they were her drugs, and you were trying to protect her.
Now, all that should have mattered was that I was off stuff. And I hadn't touched it since I left Warrensville the first time. Now, didn't that mean anything? Doesn't it mean anything that I'm clean now?
No.
And I came here for help. All right, forget it. I'll just do what I have to do.
Mr. Acosta. Aaron.
You're the one who told me that I had a responsibility beyond the trial.
That's right. And you live up to your responsibility by functioning as a lawyer. Jenny, there's a parole officer by the name of Fowler. Find out where we can reach him. And whatever Mr. Silverman has scheduled for the rest of the morning, clear it. Yeah.
Your message. The answer is no. Nothing can be done about the parole restrictions.
Mr. Fowler, Dom's clean. Your tests show that. If you don't erase some of his restrictions, you're heading for disaster.
I'm not heading towards disaster. Dom Acosta may be, but I'm not.
See? You admit it, but you won't do anything about it.
I'm doing all I can. And in the next 14 months... Would you like to hear exactly what I plan to do during the rest of his parole period?
Yes, I would. That's why I came here.
For the next 14 months, I plan to hand him a bottle once a week. Once a week, he'll hand that bottle back to me, full. And I'll have the contents of that bottle analyzed to see if there's any trace of drugs in his system.
Dom's not going to make it, Mr. Fowler. He's not going to be able to hold out for 14 months.
Then we agree on something. He won't. And if you're going to plead for him, make me shed a few tears. Don't. If I spent time crying over every man on this list, I wouldn't have time to report here and make sure they get sent back to Warrensville, would I? Some 90%. You think of that. Some 90% get fed right back into the meat grinder.
Now, don't start quoting statistics to me. Dom's not a statistic.
Look, I've given him help. I've found him a place to live. I've enrolled him in a school where he can retrain himself. I've even got him a job to pay for that retraining. Cruel? Unjust? No, an attempt. A last attempt. Mr. Silverman, Dom's been back to Warrensville 3 times since his first conviction. 3 times, 3 chances. And he was almost ready to come out this time. Almost, but not quite. And that's a big difference. I fought against his parole and I lost. That's why I helped set up these specific parole conditions. To give him the best possible chance when he faced a world he wasn't emotionally ready to accept.
He can't live up to those restrictions.
1 man in 10 does it. Every time I tack a new name on this list, I light a couple of candles that he might be that one man. It can be done, Mr. Silver.
It can't be done, Mr. Fowler. Not in Dom's case. What you're going to do is you're going to hand him a bottle, and you're going to wait for him to blow.
This may surprise you, but, yes, I am.
Fowler.
What did you find out?
Acosta's gone. There was a broken syringe in the room.
Well, we don't have to wait anymore. Dom never reported to school this morning. Was he ready, Mr. Silverman? Contact the office. They'll have him pick him up.
No, don't do that.
He violated condition.
I know. Maybe he violated condition 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But whose fault is it? He came to us for help. We couldn't give him help. Now I'm saying maybe we can give him help if I can find him.
He doesn't want to have anything to do with you.
Because he feels I screwed up. Look, you just told me you didn't want him to go back to Warrensville. Well, if you pick him up, he's gonna go back to Warrensville. Give me an hour. Give me 2 hours. Give me some time. Maybe I can find him. Maybe I can talk to him.
All right. 5 o'clock. My office. Get her car, and then Gloucester step. Remember Gloucester?
I can't. I hurt.
Keep on going.
Dom, I won't make it. Dom!
Come on, baby. All right, here. Here.
Dom,
Stella.
I won't make it.
There's only one more.
No, I don't mean that. Dom, I don't mean that. I can't do it the way you did it. Out! Please, Dom, just one.
Listen,
just
now listen.
one.
Now listen. Stella, do you remember how it used to be? Remember?
Yeah.
All right, we can change it, Stella.
I
Stella,
don't
we
want
can
to
change
be
it.
in there.
Now listen. Now listen.
No.
That doctor, I've seen what he can do up in Boston.
No.
3 months or 6 months or whatever it takes.
No.
Stella!
Leave me alone.
Stella, now listen. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. What do I have without you, Stella?
You shut up
and listen to me, Stella.
Leave me alone.
Stella. 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 die. They couldn't even give her a shot to kill the pain. They didn't know what drug she was on, how it'd react.
Was he there watching? Well, no wonder he ran.
The point is, he did run. We don't know where he is or
whether he's alive.
There is that possibility. He had no money, no way to get out of Boston. We'll find him.
They're searching for him.
They will be.
Mr. Fowler, we have an agreement. I have till 5 o'clock.
Mr. Silverman.
No, I'm going to hold you to it. And if I find him, I'm going to represent him at the parole hearing.
This is a revocation hearing. It isn't a trial. He's not entitled to counsel. Dom probably won't even be allowed to be there. That's Mr. Fowler and the board.
I think it's important that I make the board understand that he didn't do it for himself. He did it for his wife.
That doesn't matter. The law says.
Oh, I know what the law says, and so does Dom. The law doesn't bend. We bend. And sometimes we break. 5 o'clock.
What do you expect to accomplish?
That's our agreement, Mr. Fowler, 5 o'clock.
I can't do it.
Then I hope I find him first.
And you're not a narc.
No, I'm a lawyer. I heard that you and Dom were friends before he went to prison, and I thought, being his friend, you might want to help him. I can't help him unless I can find him.
He needs help.
Did you hear about his wife?
It's a small neighborhood.
I know it's a small neighborhood. That's why I thought you might be able to help me find him.
It's not that small. Look, I'd like to serve you a drink, but the law says not till 7 o'clock. I don't know where Dom is. I haven't even seen his sister. I even forget her name. I think it was, Morosco. She used to live on Grand. I think she still lives there. I don't know.
Thank you. I can't believe it. I can't believe that's the way you feel about your brother, that you just want to chalk him off.
What's he got left? That prison?
Well, maybe if I can help him, he won't have to go to prison. Here. You take one of my cards. If you happen to see him, you tell him he can reach me at this number, all right?
I won't hear from him.
Well, just in case you do. Just in case you do, you have him call me.
I'm here. They killed her. You're gonna help me?
Yeah, I'm going to try. Maybe they think I had a chance you want to come here.
Came here for money. Bus fare. It's all the chance I need.
You can't do that. Because the cops are going to pick you up. Your only chance is to stay here and to face a parole board. Tom? You think you were right in breaking the parole conditions?
What would you have done, counselor?
The same thing you did. Don't let them hunt you down. Our only chance is to go to Fowler. I promise. I'll make the parole board understand.
He had no right to make that promise.
But I did make it. You know Harris Colby, the parole administrator. Go to him.
Yeah, this board is not like any other legal body. Fowler doesn't have to produce witnesses. He doesn't have to present direct testimony. There's no function for us.
And what you're telling me is that it's Fowler's word completely.
That's the way it is.
Then what's the purpose of everything you taught us? Is this justice? Because if it is, you can forget about the law. It doesn't exist.
that even if you were allowed in the hearing room, you won't be permitted to speak, to question, to cross-examine. It'll just be a gesture.
It's time. I'll call this hearing to order. Mr. Barrett has explained to you that I've made an exception in allowing you to be present at this hearing. And I've done that for two reasons. My regard for him and the fact that you are a law student. Mr. Acosta, I'll make the assumption that Mr. Silverman has explained to you that you're not on trial here.
Yes, sir.
I think it's also important to point out, Mr. Silverman, that your presence here is without precedent. Except for questions, for the sake of clarity, which I may choose to allow, you're here merely as spectators. Is that clear?
Yes. Yes.
Very well. Mr. Acosta, I'd like to emphasize that your progress at Warrensville Rehabilitation Center indicated that you should be allowed a period of grace, clemency. That is, a test to determine whether you are ready to return to society. However, your commitment is still only suspended during the time of that test. Your sentence is still technically in effect. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Mr. Fowler, we have studied the parole conditions that have been imposed on Mr. Acosta. Aren't these requirements unusually stringent?
Well, they might be if they were for a first-time offender. This is Mr. Acosta's third offense.
Mr. Colby,
Yes, Mr. Silverman.
may I ask Mr. Fowler a question, please?
Very well, Mr. Silverman.
Mr. Fowler, what did you expect to accomplish by depriving Mr. Acosta of his livelihood, by forbidding him to work in the field of music, or by forbidding him to associate with men or women in that field?
The answer is obvious. Drugs. Mr. Acosta is an addict. Many of the people he worked with would in one way or another be involved in drugs. The simple fact that Mr. Acosta has been sentenced to Warrensville 3 times proves that he hasn't developed an immunity to temptation.
I mean, Mr. Fowler, why did you put those geographical restrictions on Mr. Acosta?
Mr. Colby, are we here to discuss the parole conditions or the violation of those conditions? Isn't that what's at issue?
At issue is the welfare of society. Whether Mr. Acosta is able, or if he's not able, to function as a productive member of society.
Well, then the way to prove that is to hear my report, not debate Mr. Acosta's parole conditions.
All right, Mr. Fowler, make your report. Be seated, Mr. Silverman.
Thank you, Mr. Colby. We'll begin with the issue that you brought up yourself, contact with the music world. Despite the condition that Mr. Acosta wasn't supposed to associate with musicians or those in the music field, this is a statement from a George Ramos, who works as a bartender at the Hole.
Once. One lousy time.
Tom.
Thank you for admitting it. Once is all that it takes to commit a violation.
All right, Mr. Fowler. He's admitted to one violation. Are there others?
Before we get into that, I'd like to make clear Mr. Acosta's basic attitude, his lack of cooperation. The trade school I chose for him is geared to teaching men from the rehabilitation center. Now, it's hard, if not impossible, to teach anyone who goes through the motions of showing up at school and then spends the rest of the day sitting, defying his instructor. As his instructor says, what are you going to do when he won't even try?
Perhaps an error was made in selecting the field of Mr. Acosta's retraining. However, at this moment, I prefer not to get into discussion of that. Are there other violations?
Yes, his job. He approached that job with the same defiance he approached the trade school. He fought with the supervisor assigned to him. He didn't do his job. And then without notifying me, he walks out on that job.
Mr. Colby, I was there the night Dom quit. He was under severe emotional strain.
Mr. Silverman, this isn't a matter of one violation. Mr. Acosta chose to violate every restriction laid down for his protection. And when he took it on himself to leave the area of the city assigned to him, to run away, to escape, he did it in the company of a suspected addict An addict the police have been trying to...
For the love of God, man, she was my wife.
All right, this room will be cleared.
No, you have to listen to why he did what he did.
Mr. Silverman, you understood that you were allowed in this hearing room only by the grace of this court.
Grace. Basic law, Mr. Colby. Basic law states that grace must be distributed even-handedly by due process.
That's enough.
No. You let Dom sit here as if he doesn't exist, and as far as this board is concerned, he doesn't exist. He was convicted. He served his time. He earned his parole. But now you've stripped him of every right that he has as a human being. You don't even allow him to defend himself. You know what you've done? You've taken him out of a stone prison, and you've put him into a glass prison. This is a man. He deserves to have his rights as a man.
My duty and the duty of this board is to see that he gets every chance the parole laws allow. Mr. Silverman.
Thank you, Mr. Colby.
Revoked. Well, what'd you expect? Gotta catch a bus back to Warrensville.
Dom.
It's the law, Counselor. You can't fight the law. But, thank you.
It's the law, Counselor. You can't fight the law.
Live with the law or change it.
You can't live with it.
You weren't listening. You have a choice. What time is it? Federal court closes at 4 o'clock. If we get on it right now, we can come up with a pretty clean writ of habeas corpus.
What?
He was denied due process. He was denied the right to counsel, the right to cross-examine. You said it. He was denied his fundamental rights. Well?
I don't think we stand a chance. If you're talking about a constitutional challenge, no one's ever won one.
But they keep trying. And one day some persistent attorney will win. I thought you just might be willing to make the attempt. Wrong, Mr. Silverman?
Right. Mr. Barrett.